Fancy. Nice. Thank you. Thank you, Joseph. Some of you may know me. For those of not, nice meeting you guys. And I'm going to share with you real quick how student success helps you through the journey as from the emotional side of the medical journey. So to begin with, I would like to share with you that we have a program that it's called Student Wellness Service. Have you ever or have you listened that we have this program before? Yes? Yes. Okay. So basically, this program is a space for you guys to share everything regarding your emotional area. If you want to think or to compare to something, it's basically a therapist space for you guys. And it has all these characteristics. It's personalized, it's based on your own needs. It's accessible. It could be either in person or through online. Yeah, I was going to say Zoom meeting, online. It is confidential, so everything that you discuss in this session stays in there. Because I had some students that have asked me if what they discuss in this session is going to affect them in any way. So it's completely confidential. So another important part is that we work from an holistic support, meaning that we see you guys as a whole, right? You have a family, you have friends, you have a body, and not only as a medical student, you are going through medical school, I'm sorry, but you are also a human being, right? You have partner, maybe a partner, you have family, you have friends, you have yourself. So we work from this holistic view. Okay, so we work with you guys, or I work with you guys from the beginning. So from block one, we accompany you guys through the adjustment process that maybe some of you are still going through it. You know, getting used to the school, through to the country, to getting to know you as a medical student. I'm sorry, and to also accompany you guys through the emotions that may rise with this process. Also, we have ongoing support through the remaining years, you know, year two, and also when you go to rotations. This is a very important part. When you go to rotations, you still have the option to request this service. It will definitely be online. So the main reason why you guys request this service is sometimes when you are at that part that you can no longer manage anxiety, or maybe you're going through something really hard in your life. So guys, I would like to ask you that if you see some red flags, to take advantage of this process and to request a session, maybe, or if you just need someone to talk to you, I'm here for you. So a very important part of this service, or of this program, is the service for the students that are preparing themselves to take either the NBMEs or their steps. How? Because it is not only about the knowledge and or to prepare through the medical content, but to have these soft skills, to know how to manage your anxiety, the stress that you may experience through these exams, because it's really normal for you guys to experience some stress during these major important exams. So we can work together to develop some strategies for you to overcome and to feel more secure and more comfortable with the way that you guys are preparing through this process. Also to overcome some negative thoughts that you may experience, maybe that no matter how hard you study, are not going to pass the exam. And um, believe it or not, these thoughts sometimes are a major obstacle for you guys to accomplish your goals. So we can work together through this, also to develop some self-care actions, because you almost forget about yourselves, guys, when you are preparing for the steps. I think you forget that you're a human being. You forget to keep in contact with your loved ones. You decide to cut activities that really um, give you energy and motivation, like exercise, or maybe you skip meals. So we can also work together developing and taking care of yourself through self-care actions. So yeah, through this, from my side, from the emotional side, it will be all. In case you want to schedule a meeting with me, my do we have a QR from? No? Yes? Okay. So, well, I think that at the end we're going to share a QR where you can schedule a meeting either with Licenciada Citlali, Licenciada Lorena, Dr. Cash, or with me. So, thank you guys. Oh, Rebecca.
I feel like an influencer. Okay, hey guys, I heard you're okay, but either way, I'm gonna ask again, how are you? Okay, so I am in charge of the academic support. Has anyone heard of this service before? Yes? Great. La que sigue, por favor. Okay, so what are we able to help you with during the academic support service? All of the 6 things are one of the top most discussed topics when you come with me, that are the exam preparation, organization, task prioritization, set realistic goals, study tips, and create a plan or a roadmap. It is incredibly important for you guys to set a schedule. I think it's one of the most hard things for you guys to do, and I know it's hard for me. I can picture how hard it is for you. You have so many topics, so many things you have to do and to study and to review, that I think it's one of the hardest things for you guys to get organized. So at the end, I want to share with you a resource that we have here at UAG that will help you with this part of the organization. And I would also share with you some study tips that might help you, that you might be doing already, but I think we often tend to forget the basics or like the principal stuff. For example, I know we are all grown-ups, we all have our own way to study, but I think it's always important to remember that we all like to have fun, we like to move, we like to play, we like colorful things. We're visual beings just for being human. We always like the best looking dessert, the best looking boyfriend or girlfriend. So we tend to forget some of those things as we grow older. So I don't want you guys to forget this part, because it's always good to have fun while studying, and it's possible. It's not that hard. Okay, so for the study tips, first of all, the schedule. It's really important for you guys to get a hold of what are you going to study and when you're going to study. I always tend to give you guys the tip of first like reviewing your strengths and weaknesses, and on that, keep making your schedule. Seek help when needed. Please do so. If you have any doubts, any questions, if you haven't got a topic like completely understood, please approach any of the faculty members. I know they are super nice, they're super kind, and they really care about you guys. So if you have any questions, you can approach them. Eh, Make active recall activities. Has anyone heard of that? Yes. Anyone do any recall activities? Yes? Like what, for example? Nicole. Okay, like a roadmap of the topic on your mind. Okay, on this side, what do you guys do? Yes, flashcards are an active recall activity. What else? Somebody else? Just one more.
Something that I do with when I study with friends is we ask each other questions, try to take each other's weaknesses, and
Yeah.
that in itself is active recall.
Yes, it is. Thank you guys. Those are great examples of an active recall activity. It's basically for you to remember the information in an active manner. Then set the objectives. Don't be too hard on yourself. Set realistic objectives according to the date and the amount of time that you have. Are there midterm goals, closer objectives, and the long term? I think the long term for everyone is to get to graduate, to make your step exams, etc. Use more research, but not too many. This one is kind of tricky because I like you guys to be able to explore a little bit further from your comfort zone because you don't know when you're going to find something that truly works entirely for you. So I invite you guys to use maybe some tool that you're kind of missing or you have heard from but you haven't used. Use it. It might be helpful for you, and if it isn't, just leave it there. Ignore it. It doesn't exist for you. But don't get this overwhelming resource information because you have too many resources. I didn't know anything about this a year ago. Right now, I'm swamped with links and apps and everything that has to do with medicine, and I've learned more in a year than in my entire life of medicine. So don't get too overwhelmed. Minimize the distractions. No TikTok, no Instagram, no Facebook, no watching a movie, no watching a series. Take breaks, but let them be easygoing for you to be able to see them start and end super like clarifying. Like for example, I don't know, I'm taking a quick break. I'm gonna take my if you any of you have pets, I'm gonna take my dog out to the bathroom, then I'm gonna take it in, and then I'm gonna keep studying. Something that has a clear start point and end point. Conducive environment. Have a good place to study. Not in bed, not on the couch, not like this in the chair. Get a good desk, a good chair. If you don't have like that space at home, you can come here to the library. It's 24/7. Use it at your advantage. Review your strengths and weaknesses. Take care of your wellness. Like Maria said, we have her. Uh, I don't want it to sound bad, but use her to your advantage, guys. I mean, take advantage that she's here. She's able to help you. I know that in the national program they don't have that, so use your advantage. And also use the space repetition. Do you know what that is? Yes. Yes. Okay. Then I'm not gonna take time from Dr. Cash, and I'm just gonna leave you guys with these brief tips.
I want to ask, what is space repetition? I don't understand that.
Ah,
Referring back to whatever piece of information. The more time you see it, the more slots there are. But why? But why? Yes, there you go.
thank you, Nicole.
Who told you that? That's very impressive. Yes. It's the Ebbinghaus. Ebbinghaus for getting good. I have that in my slides, right?
Yes. And I think I have one more. There we go, resources. I couldn't fit any more resources, and I Dr. Kash is going to make reference to some of them, but in case you haven't like got the chance to review some of them, you can check them. The one,
Using Gram Fighter.
uh-huh. I want to make reference to that one. Has anybody used it? Never? Okay, no worries. But Fighter is a great tool for you guys to schedule your study sessions. It basically does it automatically for you. You can introduce what you're studying for, when you're having your exam, how long do you have to study, and if you want to start today or tomorrow, preferably today. And you can add the resources you want to use. So what Fighter does is that it organizes them in a manner that it aligns the time you have, the resources you want to use, and the topics you have to learn. So if you're bad at making schedules like I am, it's good that you use it and you use it to your advantage.
Yeah. And also, Citlali, we have institutional membership. You don't have to pay anything.
Ah, yes, it's free.
So you don't have to pay any money. It's by another company now,
Blueprint.
Blueprint.
Yes. So you guys, if you have any more questions on, yes. Yes.
That's right.
institutional emails, you should have free access to Crime Fighter. Yes, on your digital library, it's one of the resources. Also, I think the people from library are able to help you if you can figure it out. I took a while figuring it out, but it's not that hard.
Yeah, it makes like nice study schedules. For you. Like you can also incorporate your classes that you're taking here. You can take that into account.
Yeah, it's really
Give you
useful.
like a whole study schedule with USMLE, with your own classes, everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's really good. I'm terrible at
I
making
think a lot of
schedules.
people don't know about it.
Oh,
That's the
well,
issue.
U11 now know about it. Don't share it with anyone.
You have the-
I'm kidding.
campaigns.
No, do share it, please. We want you guys to be able to know what your advantages are and what we have to offer to you guys, and just use it and explode them to their maximum. Yes. No, just that. Ninja Nerd is free. Dirty Medicine is free. I know Sketchy has a free time frame. I signed up for it. The USMLE Step 1 book. I know Dr. Cash is going to make reference to it, but I think we have a few copies on the library. What else? I think that's it.
Dirty USMLE, have you heard of that? Dirty USMLE? Sorry, Daniel, sound sleazy, little cheeky, right? But it's like those are free videos online. I included the resources, right? So that you can see those because that is on YouTube. It's
Yes.
open source. But I don't know. I don't know the subscription for that though. Like I don't know whether if you want to do the lectures, most students prefer boards and beyond than dirty medicine, right? So I don't know, but boards and beyond, Jason Ryan is a good style, right? He uses pen and paper.
Yeah, you guys, it's for you guys to explore. So just use it to your advantage. Use the one you like the best. And I will leave the floor to Dr. Kashif.
All right, thank you so much. So thank you so much.
Hi.
I know time is short, so well, first of all,
Hi. I'm not an influencer anymore.
there you go. First of all, thank you so much because I want to tell you something. You know, I have helped about like 1,500 students pass the STEP exam in my previous jobs, right? So that's a big number. I know the students are like sometimes very nervous about that, but the good thing is that you have time, you know, that in the sense that I'm so excited to share this with you so that you can get like head start for your STEP exam, correct? So knowledge gaps. Now, most medical schools give you a framework to study, right? To teach. They cannot teach you every single thing, right? That's the reality, right? In most international medical schools, yes, the students want to take the STEP exam and they're taking a little longer because they're trying to identify those gaps and need more time to prepare because your schedules are very packed, correct? What can you do in the meantime is identify your own gaps. Where are you weak, as Setlali said, by space, repetition, but you need a good outline. How many of you know that there's a USMLE step content outline with all the topics? How many of you have that? One, right? So that's the first thing. You don't have a blueprint, right? And so, I don't know whether you can pull that here and let me show the students. Or maybe at the end we can show them. Yeah, we can show them at the end. Preparation. Lack of preparation is, are you doing enough questions? We have given you AMBOSS, but you have to organize AMBOSS. Most students are going jumping. They are doing the clinical piece. No, you don't need that for step 1. You need the basic science knowledge. What is the best book to follow? The first aid is why is first aid so popular? First tell me that. You can go to the next slide. Why is it so popular? Come on. Yes, but what's the main reason? Why is it around for such a long time? No, not really. No, they didn't design the exam for this step. Nope. All these people, Vikas Bhushan, Connie Q, is written by students. This book is written by students under Tao Li. You know Tao Li? He's a really, really nice person who really believes that we should help our students more. We should be more student-centric. It's written by students because the students cannot absorb all the information. How do you study from it though? How do you guys study? Anybody using first aid book? Yes, Yusuf, go ahead, and then we can ask you. How do you study? How do you use it?
So typically we're in the endocrine system now.
Uh-huh.
So I would do my readings for the current material we're doing in class,
Yes.
and I would use it day by day. If whichever topic we cover in class, I would look into it and cover it. And then when I'm done with the material for the class, I get into the pathologies and the pharmacologies to get myself an idea.
Wonderful. That's a really good strategy. Yes.
Use that as another reference, like
Uh-huh.
another source.
Uh-huh.
Like apart from like our slides, like and reading, like also supplement it.
Supplement it. Now, I would advise you to do something. Color code it. You know what color coding is? Use 3 colors, green, yellow, and pink. You can divide them. The green for the knowledge that you have, very good, right? Yellow that you are like, and then the red that you can't understand. That's color coding. That's constructivist theory as an educator, psychology, right? Because still the book is big. It's huge. So you have to do some kind of color coding. Or some people use like post-it notes or like, have you seen the book? If you see the people who are preparing, their book is full of like notes, things. You need to do that. You need to make the book like a compact guide, right? Now, next slide. Fortunately, we are now requiring a pass on the CBSE exam. This exam is to help you pass the USMLE Step 1 exam. Why? Because we don't want the students to go underprepared in the Step 1 exam. Why is that? Because what happens if you fail the Step 1 exam? You get depression. 100% I agree. We're seeing some of those. Number 2, it messes up your result. By how many percent? No, a lot. 16%. So, doesn't mean that you failed Step 1 that you're not going to match. No. You can still match. You can still have to pass the second time. If you fail it the second time, it's even less. So I'm very proud as your dean to announce that I have the first person as the dean to introduce a checkpoint, the CBSE exam. Lorena, the students who are getting 66, 67, 68 on the CBSE exam, are they passing the STEP exam? Majority of them are doing very well on the STEP exam, right? That is why if you see that our Step 1 scores, our pass rates have improved, right? Please collectively, the graduates who are graduating, yes, we are trying to build resources, right? What resources you have today, your next class might have even more. It's a build-up process, right? I could only choose Amboss for you because Amboss is one of the best resources. Can I do UWorld as well? Of course, but they're expensive, very, very expensive. And they don't give much discounts. That's the thing. So you might have to buy some of those and invest in your career. Obviously, the best we can do is provide you the four full years of access. All of you have used Amboss? Are using Amboss? Why? How do we know that? Lorena? We are seeing now, there are Amboss people is telling me, Dr. Cash, are you doing something? What is happening? The Amboss usage has gone so up. Are the students freaking out about the STEP exam? Yes, they are. Are they freaking out in block 9 and 10? No, they're actually now freaking out in block, which is what I want. I want you guys to freak out now, right? So that you can prepare well. The other problem is USMLE exam, next slide, went from pass-fail to, score to pass-fail, correct? And so we are requiring high standards for you to pass the CBSE and then take your Step 1, step by step, then take the CCSE and then take Step 2. It's a process, right? We can't jump the process, sorry, right? For example, some students would ask me, Dr. Cash, I don't want to take CBSE, I don't want to take CCSE. I think I'm prepared for the STEP exam. Boom, fail. Because there was no checkpoint to give them. Now, you are excellent class. I can see the perception of the class, right? The perception of the class is they want to get ahead. They don't want to be behind. They don't want to prepare like in semester, block 10, block 9. They want to have a good knowledge. So go ahead. I agree. Please do not use so many resources that you have difficulty. Anki cards. If you're using Anki cards, start now. If you use Anki cards in block 10, it's not going to work. It's too little time. Because what does Anki cards do? It builds muscle memory, right? Space repetition. I like ScholarX because it's the same book. The first aid is the same book from the same company. They have bricks. And I don't think it's that expensive. I think the whole thing is like, it's quite inexpensive, right? As compared to UWorld. What are the two biggest resources, guys, for using for practice questions? Amboss and UWorld. Why is that? Because the predictors of your score is very close to those scores. If you are at 214, you pass the, sorry, you got a 65 on the CBSE. Does that guarantee that you will pass the step exam? It's a predictor, right? It pushes you close towards 90%. That's where we want our students to. Am I making sense? Right? Yes. Correct. Yes, the CBSE is comprehensive basic science examination before step 1. And then you take the comprehensive clinical science examination before step 2. That is in year 3 and year 4. Good. Actually, Miss Lorena actually told me this morning, Dr. Cash, the students might get a little confused about you telling about CBSE and CCSE. But mine was like, give it to them. Let them the whole thing, right? So that they can look at their target, right? But, so do you understand that? CBSE first, then step 1, then which one? What does CCSE stands for? Comprehensive Clinical Science Examination, right? Why are they important? Because you take it in a testing center. A lot of students have anxiety with the step exam, right? Okay. How many of you are using Pathoma? It's a good book. It's good. It's short. It has all the pathologies. Get Pathoma, and Pathoma, I think the class wants to start on the pathologies, which will come later, and you can always do a review when you're doing your main block, correct? Because you won't be able to answer those questions in totality, right? That's what the frustration is. Okay. We already did that. You already are studying, you have your study plan, use Cram Fighter, use the first aid book. Someone is telling you that, okay, yes, I need to make sure that I understand this material that is not very good for me. Which material is not good for you? Tell me. Right now. You finished block 3, right? Or you're almost finishing block 3. Have you mastered all the cardiovascular concepts? Not much. You haven't. Yes. Why? Because you will forget, right? Go to the next slide. You will always forget. And that's why you need to know that sometimes you say, I never saw this information in the curriculum, right? Other outside, these are the quotes from the students. How do I review the information? I want everything in one place. Oh, sorry, it's not, should be not on one. And what is high yield? High yield is, what is high yield? Very important, or which is on the always on the exam. There cannot be a USMLE step 1 exam without a question on blood pressure. Never. Right? There can be never be a step 1 exam without Starling forces, right? That you already studied, right? There'll never be a question without cardiac cycle. There has to be one question. Okay? Thank you so much. Your name? Nicole. Nicole said about the forgetting curve. That's how everybody gets stressed about, oh, I forgot. That's okay. You will forget, but it will come back in the exam, right? Because you will say that, oh my God, I forgot, I'm behind. Everybody forgets. The minute I, Sitlali, will walk out, we'll probably go back and we have to debrief. We also kind of poke in a nice way and say, hey, did you know what that the student was saying? We need to do something about this. You have to talk. Otherwise, you will keep forgetting. If you don't practice, you will keep forgetting. So do it as a pace. Don't worry. Okay, next slide. These are some very important pointers. I hope you're recording it because these are very important pointers. Use a chart for yourself, what you know well, what you want to know well, or what you have learned already. Right? KWL. If you Google KW, they use it at kindergarten. But it's very powerful. It's like a strategy. What you want to know well, what you have learned well, or what you would want to know. Okay? So, how can you organize yourself? Already, Sitlali already talked about that. What are the 3 P's that are on the exam? The 3 P's on the exam on the USMLE: physiology, pathology, pharmacology. Those are the 3 big P's that you must know really, really well. And then you can map yourself however you want. You want to use AMBOSS, UWorld, and things like that. However, your first focus should be to make sure that you're reviewing the material that you're covering and getting ahead, right? For example, if Yusuf is doing endocrinology, which we're doing now, it's good to review endocrinology, right? Okay, next slide. We already covered this. This is the breakdown. This is a very, very important slide that students don't know. This is the breakdown of the questions that are going to be on the exam. These are the ranges, percentages. Which one is the highest percent? Okay, yes, respiratory, renal, behavioral, right? Blood, lymphatic. It's like a nice split, right? Would you want to spend so much time, like hours, on doing human development? It's only 1 to 3% of your assessment, right? How much is biostatistics and epidemiology? 4 to 6%, correct? Now, if you go in the exam and say, no, I did not study any biostatistics, you're going to be in trouble, right? Because you're going to miss on the 4 to 6% of the questions. It's a percentile exam. It looks at your performance. It looks at all the performances. And will adjust the score according to the performance. It's a percentile exam. It's not a percentage exam. There's no like 65, 75. It's a percentile exam. You get that? Students, when you take the exam, the students perform really high than you, you're going to be down. If the students perform bad and you perform good, you'll be up. So you have to pass in that range. Does that make sense? Is it clear? How many of you already knew this before? None. 1 or 2, you knew this. Okay. Next slide. Here is the breakdown, even more. The top 3 are, the 3 P's are, what are you going to, if you're going to take one thing from this workshop, what are the 3 P's that you must tell every student to know? Pathology, pharmacology, right? Because why? That as a clinician, you need those 3 topics to know really well. Genetics, behavioral sciences, histology, cell biology, gross anatomy, they're all important, right? But the 3 big P's are. Now, please, don't take this thing and say, oh, I'm not going to study for behavioral sciences and genetics, because there's only 4 to 5%. Hey, hi, come on in. Come join us. Yeah. It's like, oh, I'm late. What do I do? Should I sit at the back, right? Right? She's laughing. She knows. It's like, no. Maybe we are all friends there, right? Okay, please look at these blueprints, share with your team, right? Next slide. I honestly will tell you one thing. It's not your knowledge, it's the understanding of the question in the exam. It's not your knowledge, it is the understanding of the question. Why? Because I was a test examiner. I used to write questions. I can't tell you for which company, right? But I wrote it for 6 years. Read the question. Read this question. I'll give you a minute to read. Am I showing you the answers now? No. There's no answers, right? A, B, C, D, E to choose from. I'm just giving you the psyche. The psyche of the question. Look at the question. What do you think are the key features in this question? Yes. Yes. Low blood pressure, heart rate. That is very good. But one thing that students miss is the social determinants of health in the question. The age, sex of the person. Is that important? Yes. Uh-huh. Yes. There you go. That's an excellent example that the examiner is trying to trick you, is giving you some distractors, but the key feature is that they're migrated, right? You will see those questions. I went on a expedition or a camping trip, right? A camping trip is an important factor in here. He states that his heart is racing, no history is available, physical exam reveals the blood pressure. You do not have to memorize the values of the labs. They will be given to you in the exam. I saw some students memorizing. It's good to know the basic ones, sodium, potassium, but they will give you a... Now, you tell me now, what kind of questions can I make from this? You are the examiner now. Tell me. Oh, excellent. What kind of nervous system is responsible for the blood pressure? Excellent. Yes?
We can look at pathology with H. pylori and hyperlipidemia with a buildup of lipids in the artery.
Excellent, because a patient has GERD and hyperlipidemia. You can take a bacterial spin and change the case to almost like a GI case, right? What else? Uh-huh. Very good. What kind of drug would you provide for blood pressure, right? Uh-huh. What else? Just the knowledge that you have in block 1, 2, and 3. You told me pharmacology, little bit of pathology, and how is blood pressure maintained? Correct? Physiology of the blood pressure. Would you agree to that or no? Yes. Next slide. Know the question, read the question, don't look at the answers first. First, try to analyze the questions, right? Look at the question, read the question, then go to the answers. And then you can use the power of elimination easily. Let me show you. This is I wrote last night. Okay, it's an easy question. Take a look at it. The patient's body responds to drop in blood pressure. The patient is trying to get the blood pressure back up to normal. Which of those 3 choices would be right? And please don't say the answer. I want everybody to think. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yes. Now, what you're doing is probably focusing on everything, right? Step by step. Let's look at the first scenario. Angiotensin 2 will increase to get the blood pressure back to normal. So the first choice is eliminated just by looking at the first thing. You got it? Okay. Vasoconstriction. If angiotensin is high, you'd have to have vasoconstriction. So you will have increased vasoconstriction. Agreed? Sodium absorption. When your blood pressure is dropping, you want to absorb more sodium or you want to eliminate more sodium? You want to absorb more, right? And what is ANP? Have you heard of ANP? Atrial natriuretic sodium. It pushes sodium out. Do you want that to increase? Because if sodium goes out, what will follow? Water. And so you want ANP to decrease. So what's the right choice then there? Somebody said the third one or the second one? B. Good, good. See, you're reviewing, right? You're reviewing, right? Good. Are we good? Okay. Now, I got a call from the USMLE, Dr. Cash. It's not a challenging question. Your block 3 students will just easily do it. Easily. You got to make a tougher question, Dr. Cash. We want to be prepared more, right? Give us some high yield stuff. Okay. No problemo. I can do that. Go ahead. Same question. Take your time. Same scenario. Ah, I see more eyes squinching now. You got it, right? Is it the same question?
No, I mean, we just need to look at one thing and then.
Yeah. But did I add the distractors here?
No, you know.
Well, yeah, and some people don't even, sometimes you might miss that information. So, did we establish angiotensin 2 was increasing? Correct? So the first option is gone. It's between B and C. Which one is it? It is C. Okay? What is aldosterone?
It's like when the blood pressure is low, aldosterone is
Yes, aldosterone is low, aldosterone is released. Where is aldosterone released from? Adrenal gland. Do you see what I'm saying? You have to go deeper. You're not going deep. Where is it released? Adrenal gland, adrenal cortex. If I want to make it tough, which part of the adrenal cortex? The zona glomerulosa, GFR, glomerulosa fasciculata reticularis. Fasciculata makes steroids, it's high yield, right? But what does aldosterone do?
It binds to the cells of the kidneys to absorb more water to open the aquaporin channels.
Nope,
deals with LCDH. It also deals with hyperkalemia.
wrong, incorrect. It doesn't form water channels.
No, it's not the
It increases sodium reabsorption.
How?
By
How does it increase sodium? Yes, I agree, 100%. Good. It increases pulse sodium where? Please, one more time. From where? I already taught you this. From the ECF to the ICF or ICF to the ECF? It pulls the sodium where? Aldosterone. ICF to ECF in your blood. Because otherwise, how will you increase your blood pressure, right? Of course. But how does it do that? Yes, very good. It activates the sodium potassium pump and it also makes sodium channels. It increases the protein synthesis of the sodium channels. So you can absorb more sodium. And when sodium follows, water will follow. It does not make water channels. That hormone is ADH, antidiuretic hormone. It actually, do you understand the difference? One is pulling water passively, following sodium. The other one is you're making pure, bringing water. So, okay, well, let me spin the question more. Is that okay with you? Go for it. Let's go. One more slide. Here you go. Now you'll have to think. Take your time. Take your time. No pressure. Go back to the first question. The patient has drop in blood pressure, right? That is super important. Okay, you only know one information, that angiotensin 1 will Angiotensin 1 will increase or decrease. Okay, I know only that information. Dr. Cash never taught me the other things. I'm just going to focus on angiotensin 1 is increasing, correct? Which leaves me in a much better situation because option B is decrease. Okay, so what happens? Concept map, make a map in your head. This is how you need to think for block 3 moving forward. What happens when blood pressure drops? Renal perfusion pressure would decrease. Drop. Of course, when your blood pressure drops, then the body will start sensing that in the kidneys, in the juxtaglomerular cells, to make more angiotensin 1. Angiotensin 1 will be converted into, and angiotensin 2 does what 4 things? Turns on aldosterone, vasoconstriction,
Vasodilation of the afferent artery and vasoconstriction.
yes. But if you look at Costanzo, there's a chart there, right? It also increases thirst, ADH. Yes, it does that.
Was it ADH that increases the thirst or angiotensin?
No, it's the thirst that increases ADH
Okay.
because you don't have enough fluid, right? So ADH will increase. And what's the fourth thing? Go back, Lorena. It also promotes sodium hydrogen exchange. You got it? High yield. Examiner will catch you there, right? Go down. Oh my God, unstressed volume. What is unstressed volume? If you don't know that at this level, that's not good because that is already covered in the cardiovascular. The amount of blood, who knows unstressed volume? Not Yusuf. No, Yusuf is not talking. I want to give others chance, right? What is unstressed volume in the circulation? Unstressed. Which blood vessels are at lowest pressure? Has the most pooling of the veins. The veins have the unstressed volume. When you vasoconstrict, boom, 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 what happens? You're going to push more blood to the heart. So your unstressed volume will increase or decrease? The unstressed volume will decrease because you're pushing blood out of the veins towards the heart. Make sense? You can see how I took one question and made it complex and complex. Some of you might know the second question better. Some of you might know this one better. Some of you might not know the first one very easily, correct? If I change this, increase to arrows, will it confuse you? No, it's the same information, but you know what I mean? They can put like arrows, up and down arrows, right? That's where the students get nervous. Oh my God, what's happening here? No. Step by step. Okay? How do you feel? You can see how they're going to test you on the exam. It's the same concept. The NBME cannot write millions of questions. It has to be from the same concepts. So don't worry, you know it well. You just might have to polish here and there. Now, tell me, can you already think that which one you have to review today? Probably I felt personally as an instructor, unstressed volume. A lot of people were like, what's that, Okay? This is what the examiners do. They test your deeper thinking, but they change the question in a way, as Yusuf said, I could take this and put a H. pylori spin to it, right? What is H. pylori? It's a bacteria in the stomach. How does it survive? Stomach is so acidic. Huh? Yes, but how does it do that? How does it thrive in the acidic environment? It neutralizes it. Very good. By making an enzyme known as urease, right? That's how it protects itself. Otherwise, when I was studying medical school, I did not know about H. pylori. We could never imagine that there will be a bacteria in such an acidic environment. So what did we give? We gave antacids. What would you give somebody who's H. pylori positive? Antibiotics or triple antibiotic therapy, right? Each student has their own learning style. One thing is, don't be nervous, right? Is what you would know, it's the same information. You might conceptualize it differently. Correct? Was it helpful? Was this helpful to show you how a question is? Okay, let's go. Let's look at the next slide. Here's your review. Here's your spaced repetition. Right? Yes.
So since like you struggled on that like unstretched volume,
Yes.
how you learned about that. Does something like Fighter help address the knowledge gaps?
No. It just makes the search yellow. That is the point that you will have to do it. You can put it in this Scram Fighter that I don't understand, but you have to manually do it. Like you can say, these are the concept. What is unstressed volumes? A volume in the veins that is at low pressure. Where is stressed volume? Come on. In the arteries, right? Right? I can take this whole thing and make 20 questions out of this. Just one concept. Easy. You can do that too, right? That's what you need to memorize, or a spaced repetition. All right, guys, what are the 4 things? Yusuf said 2, and what's your name? Jacob said 1 or 2. Let's combine forces and get all the 4. Knock it out of the park. I can never get a question wrong on the exam on the cardiovascular. How do we know this? We don't know what the students are studying. We see that on the STEP exams and on the CBSEs, right? Then we go back and tell the instructors, hey, you need to teach that a little bit more, right? Because now we have information on how you're performing. How are you individually performing? We don't know that. Because we want to give you that space. As Sitlali said, as Lorena said, we are here to help you. Who's taking the onus? The student, right? The student. Okay. Blood pressure, how do you calculate that? How do you calculate mean arterial pressure? The stroke volume and heart rate, that would be cardiac output. There you go. Mean arterial pressure. Diastolic pressure. Go back, Lorena, please. Go back one more, the first slide. One more. One more. There you go. If you are given this, how would you calculate mean arterial pressure? It's diastolic pressure. No, not over systolic. Diastolic pressure. Yes, you can do that, or plus 1/3 of pulse pressure. And what is pulse pressure? No, pulse pressure. What is pulse pressure? Difference between systolic and diastolic. How much is that now? Oh, Dr. Cash, I don't know math. Math is hard, right? What is the pulse pressure? 35. 35 plus the systolic pressure, the diastolic pressure, which is how much? Diastolic pressure is how much? 60. 60 plus 35 is 95. That's your mean arterial pressure. Now, why is that? Why are we taking diastolic pressure and not the systolic? We can just take the systolic plus diastolic divided by 2. Good. No. Why are we taking diastolic pressure? Because the heart spends more time in diastole. So it's diastolic plus 1/3 of pulse pressure. Just to clarify, cardiac output is stroke volume times heart rate. If they give you cardiac output and stroke volume, can you calculate heart rate? You have to reach to the equation. Got it? Okay. Next slide. Someone asked that. Who told me nervous system? I can make a question on nervous system. Yes, you were. And your name is, sorry, I forgot. Jesse. Jesse said, yes, nervous system. Excellent, Jesse. You're getting into the head of the examiner. Because I can make a lot of questions on the control of the, how is blood pressure controlled? By the stretch on the baroreceptors. When you have high blood pressure, do you need more sympathetic or more parasympathetic? When you have high blood pressure, parasympathetic. In this case that I showed you, you need more sympathetic. So which center will be active? The sympathetic center will be active more in this case, correct? And what does the sympathetic center do? This is catecholamines, increases blood pressure. Okay, how does it increase your blood pressure? By activity on which receptor? Activity on which receptors? Beta 2, not much in this case, more alpha 1 and beta 1. Correct? Beta 1 increases your heart rate, alpha 1 causes vasoconstriction of what? The arterioles and the veins. Veins right here at the bottom. What volume do they have? Unstressed volume. You will never forget that now because I went over a repetition activity with you. Okay, next slide. Miss Lorena Lopez, I'm very proud of my team, right? They're not content experts, but they're very good with your learning strategies. Content, you have to go to the faculty if you're struggling with a particular content, right? If you are struggling with something that is more high yield, I'm giving you all the information of the content outline. The content outline, if you type it, Lorena, can you show? Maybe we can pull it up and see whether we can show it to the students so that they know exactly. Look at that. This is from the USMLE website. Go down. There's the content outline. Click on that. There you go. Go down. It has, go down furthermore. It has all the topics. Each and every single detail of the topic. They will not ask you anything outside these topics. Isn't it a nice guide? It's like a nice guide for all the topics, behavioral health, cardiovascular. We just have to use it. We have to let the students know about it, right? That's why people from your class say, Dr. Cash, we need to know where is the information, right? So at the moment, I'm so excited. We are developing a USMLE prep Canvas page. So you can get that. Go to the content outline. I already gave them the specification. You remember the specifications? The 3 Ps? Okay, there you go. Go back. Mariana. High yield, 40 high yield. These are the kind of videos. Can you pull that as a video? See, like I wanted to show. In the STEP exam, guys, they will ask you 5 questions on imaging. 5 questions on different types of imaging. CT scan or an X-ray, right? You'll have to wait for the ad. You can't something, yeah. So I like these because if you could move forward, Lorena, a little bit, because it's give you the high yield topics, right? That you probably see. Just you can click on anything. Yeah, anywhere. Yeah, anywhere.
Will have no history of camping or any other risk factors that kind of push in the direction of Lyme disease. This is caused by herpes simplex virus.
Okay, you can stop. So it's giving you a scenario and it's giving you the diagnosis. That's good, right? You need that. We need that more practice. Go back. Thanks, Lorena. Sorry. Okay, biostatistics. Some people ask me. Randy McNeil, he's excellent. He has a lot of good lectures on biostatistics, right? And we will be covering that biostatistics in our course too. And then we also have, for the next slide, in the study guide. Yes. The next one. There's no more? Go up maybe one. Did you miss any? Can you go down? Oh, the videos. You have the videos with the high yield, the videos that we created for the students, the step 1 videos, the question lab. No. Go after thank you. No, it's not there. Maybe what happened? It went away. There's their presentation. Is there. So this is a really good resource. What I did with you is I broke down the question lab. It's on YouTube. Tonight, Scholar RX is doing Lorena is doing a seminar from 8 to 9 Eastern time, right? It's free. They don't charge any money, but it's again breaking the questions, right? So I included those 2 resources for you. What questions do you have? Please tell me. How can I help you? Yes.
So the 2 exams that we take before the step 1, are we supposed to take it by a certain amount of time, or can we take it before clerkship?
The 2 exams or the 1 exam, CBSE?
Oh, is it the CBSE and?
There's only one before the step exam. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So
The step CCSE is after step 1.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So can we take that one before clerkships?
Yes, you are going to take it. So here's the thing: you're going to take it at the beginning of your clerkship, right when you finish year 2. Yeah, that's what we. That's but the problem is the students are not passing those exams. That's why we want you to get you pass, right? We agree that we want you to pass in the first attempt, so then you can take your step exam on time. Why? Because we want you to get into residency before after you finish your graduation. So one more time, CBSE only exam to pass. If you want to gauge yourself, there are self-assessments, right? On the for you to practice for free. Do not do them right now because you still need knowledge. Do not burn your questions. Don't be haphazard that I finished all the U word. I was like, how did you do that? You only blocked 3. No, Dr. Cash. Excelente, spectacular. No, but you have to review it, guys, right? You have to do it because you have to. You need to gain some information. Otherwise, if I teach you everything now, there will be information overload. We don't want that, right? Can we teach you the pathologies and everything? No, we have to do it step by step. Yes.
Are they written by UAG? So like, are they written in the style of our current exams, or are they written in the style of
No, they're NBME style, USMLE style. Their CBSE is taken in a proctored center, right? When you will go and rotate, you will have to go to a proctored center to take the exam, right? In Puerto Rico, it's tough. How many plan to go to Puerto Rico for their rotations? There's only one center, I think, in Puerto Rico, 1 or 2. How many of you want to go back to Texas? Texas has many. Arizona has many, no problem, right? So the team will help you schedule the exam. Don't worry, we'll schedule the exam. You will collect the fees. Everything is going to be perfectly fine. Yes.
or we start clerkships, we then also then take the USMLE.
You can't do that because the issue is that your rotations start right after. Then you'll have to take a leave of absence, which will put you behind. Now, you can do that, but the problem is we take money from the DOE to give you loans, right? So, what's the best way is that if you need more time, then you'll have to take a leave of absence because ideally you want to finish step 1 and you want to go into your rotations, correct?
Because we started back in January, so we'll finish here in Mexico.
So you'll finish when?
We'll finish like in October, right? Of next year.
Yes, correct.
So won't we have like a 2-month grace period?
Exactly. But please, what's happening is the students are just going to blowing off that time. They're not studying in that break. They're gone on the beach. You can't do that, right? For 3 weeks, right? That's a good point.
So
October.
if we are finishing in October, can we then take the CBSE in like November?
Yes, you can.
And then we can take the USMLE in December. Is that possible?
December.
You can take your CBSE after the fourth semester.
Okay, fourth semester.
Fourth semester.
So we can take it in like November.
Yes.
If we have all your grades here at the UAG, you can start the process to take CBSE.
And then how long does it take for you guys to get the results from the CBSE so then we can then schedule the
A week before you take your CBSE.
So I will recommend something. Don't take it in December. No, December, the students, the testing center are off. The USMLE also needs a break for Christmas and things. So take it in the first week of January, right? Or the first week of December. Does that make sense? Because during Feliz Navidad, you don't want to be studying, right? Yes. Oh boy, there's lots of rumors, right? Yes, go ahead. No, you're right. That's why we're having.
Because I heard the rumor and I don't believe the person. I just heard it. I was like, okay.
Please tell us. Let us. Shh, we will not tell anybody.
I heard that. Okay, now I'm blushing.
No, it's okay. Tell us. Look. This is a safe space, right? Yeah.
I heard that in order to, okay, the rumor is that you have to be in the top 10% in
Oh,
order to be provided to take the CBS exam in order to take the.
good. We came up with that policy. But what did we notice? That the students in the top 10% are also struggling with the CBSE. Actually, we found that the students who are behind, they're actually doing a little bit better than the students who are in the top 10%. But that policy is no longer applicable. It's been because we wanted to, what he was saying, we wanted to give the students more chance to pass. But if they are going to be behind anyway, I personally thought, and this was my decision, I take full responsibility. I just said, no, every student needs to take the CBSE. Even if they are the top 1%, they need to show me a grade of 65, right? Because I don't want anybody to be disadvantaged in a way that, hey, you know what, I thought I prepared really well for my STEP exam. I should have been given, right? Right? Remember, in medical schools, your grades are not a really good predictor of your step 1 exam. Your CBSE is an excellent predictor of your step 1 exam, provided you don't have anxiety. But that's, thank you for sharing that. Yes?
Like, what is the importance of like the ranking? Like, what is, I don't know what is a big fuss. Like, I hear the big deal of the ranking, and I really don't understand.
Oh, yeah. The ranking is that students who are performing well, they can be on the dean's list, right? A dean's list is something that they can add it to their credentials, that they were the top, so that they study well on their exams. So you have to do your exams, local exams, plus your USMLE, right? It's a credential, right? It doesn't really forecast your performance on the step exam, the dean's list. Yeah. It's not a big, it's honestly speaking, to be honest, it's not, it's a prestige, but it's not like something that impacts your career. That if you're not on that list, that you will not be able to get a residency. Please, the only thing they're looking at residency is 3 things. What are those? Step 1, pass, first attempt. Step 2, what's the score? 205? No. 220 might get residency in family medicine, internal medicine. Maybe. 230 on the step 2, 230 and above. Guys, I want to tell you today, I had 3 students I saw right now have scores of 257, 260, and 245. Same students from our UAG. Is that exciting? Because I can guarantee they will match. If they don't match, maybe they had some problem with the documentation, right? Lorena, we saw those, right? Actually, maybe we were planning to invite one of them maybe to come and talk to you guys. Would that be a good thing, right? When you ask me, Dr. Cash, can you give us that guy who's like scoring high so we can prepare? But right now, your focus is step 1. Get that beast out of the way. Step 2 is not that difficult. Step 1 is the one that is causing problems, is delaying everything. Good question. Yes.
You know, a lot of our professors are also taking step 1, and I know there's amazing workshops that they're always doing, like IVs, all this stuff. But what if we did more workshops to kind of help us, like where to start, digest, like step 1 review sessions? Because I forgot a lot of the cardio stuff, so I feel like that's so important to like even once a month, or like I know the U.S. schools they'll do like a exam at the end to like, well, maybe not like that because I don't want an extra.
Let's do a. I think me and Lorena talked about it. No, I honestly, yeah, I was told by the students when I started it, Dr. Cash, we are planning to do like practice questions with a faculty or even with some senior, students who have passed, right? I always give the example of, Lloyd Taylor and Susan Raymond, who are 2 of my students who are just going to, pass everything in first attempt. Why not use those students and do some like, question building workshop, Yes, that's a great idea. So we can identify some faculty. I know that Dr. Alvarez already has passed the STEP exam.
I would separate it like for people like us because what's it called? The people on other blocks are more ahead with the material, so
Yeah.
try to combine it per semester
Yes,
if
yes.
possible.
I think that can be only done by student motivation and peer to peer. Yes, because we know that we have faculty, but the honest thing is that you can do a set of questions, but like the way I showed you, you could do that as a group. But we don't have a platform. You guys don't get a chance to talk to each other. Do you after class? Do you guys do practice questions? Maybe you do it personally, but you don't do it as a class. I think it would be also good to do it as a class. I was also thinking that if I have time, I can do like some of these sessions like you a little bit more, right? Whenever I get the time. Yeah. Yes. Oh. All right. Step 1, pass on. First attempt. Please, for that, trust us. Trust your leadership. Rumors are circulating, they are bad for the school. Trust your person, trust the person who's trying to help you. And tell them, no, that's not false, that's not what Dr. Cash told us. He told us you have to pass the CBSE and then you can take the STEP exam. There are some policies which we're working on, and we want to make sure that we're not I don't know where this comes from, that we're holding students back. No, we are not. Honestly, who'll be the happiest in this university if you get a residency in first attempt? I will be the happiest. And if I am the one who is seeing a decline, then I'll be the first one to take responsibility also. So I don't want you to get there. First one is step one, high score on step two. High score on step two, 230, 240 on step two, which will give you a residency. Third is your application. Make your CVs professional. Your CVs are not good. They have mistakes. They have spelling mistakes. Para Espanol, half in Spanish, half in, no, it has to be all in English. And I think Roxanne is going to do a workshop with you guys on your CV writing. We already have that. So don't worry about those things. It's credentialing, how you sell yourself in the interview, right? My name is Sitlali Berthan, right? Sitlali is going to sell the school how? She's going to tell the school, I'm doing success strategies. Please help us sell the school, right? There's a lot of sometimes negativity about the school, and it's not true. The other medical schools who are advertising, they are also advertising their pass rates, but trust me, we are doing much better than them. Some of the medical schools require a 70 on the CBSE, and they actually send you to a physical boot camp to take a course. That would already delay your step anyway, right? If you fail, it's going to delay your residency anyway, right? So what I'm telling is we are humans. As who said? Sitlali or Lorena said, or Maria also said, we are humans. We can fail. It's okay. There's always recourse, right? Three most important things. Research is important, but it's not the main focus. They don't look at how many papers you publish in residency. Maybe one poster or one thing, something like that. They look at your good. We're good. So feedback, Lorena. Maybe we should start more practice. I think they'll enjoy this. That's what I was telling you. If I give them a question, they will enjoy the breakdown of the question, and they will look at the distractor. It's also a good review for them. So when you need reviews, it's a very good suggestion. Why don't you guys come up with a plan and share it with me, right? My only frustration is the time. How many students we have today? 11. How many is in your class? 86. What's that in percentage? What am I going to go back and say my boss? The attendance was only 10% because of X, Y, Z, whatever that reason is, right? But all right, Lorena, I leave you to close. So
No worries. So this is like
which one? No, the student offices will help you to schedule. You have to schedule it for yourself, which one want to take. Like for example, if I have a student who is telling me that I can't take it in December because I want to enjoy Christmas, I want to take my CBSE in January. We don't know that, so you will have to do that. That was a recommendation. Take it if you finish in October. Take the CBSE in November. That's a really good suggestion.
And then say like we take the step one in January and we start the rotation in
Uh-huh.
January. Then what is the soonest that afterwards that we can then take the CCSE? Like once we've started our rotation.
When do you think you can take it?
I know it's during rotation.
Yes, you have to complete all the core rotations and then take it. So end of year 3. So end of year 3 from January, how much time you have? From January of that year, then you finish your step 1. How much time do you have? You have 12 months. Students are going crazy. They're saying we want to take it in February, Dr. Cash. It's like I can't allow you. You haven't finished your rotations, right? So I want to take it in May. Maybe, right? You're moving too fast here, right? You got to slow down the pace here because why? Even if you pass, you still have a year and a half to graduate. So the time management is the factor, right? That's a good point though.